Ethereum crashes 4.3% and fear grips the market at 29. Is this the flush before the bounce? Good morning, traders. It's July 28th, 2026, and the crypto market is bleeding red. Bitcoin holds the lead with $1.27 trillion market cap, but is down 3.0% on the day, dragging total sentiment lower. Ethereum is the standout loser, sliding 4.3% to $1,882. With the Fear and Greed Index deep in fear territory, this is a cautious, defensive tape. Buyers are hesitant, and selling pressure remains elevated across majors. Bitcoin trades at 63,306, down 3.0% over 24 hours and 3.7% on the week. The RSI 14 reads 33.1, a neutral zone but pressing toward oversold, hinting at potential exhaustion by sellers. However, the MACD remains bearish at -441 versus its signal of -364.87, with a negative histogram of 35.53 confirming downside momentum. Critical support sits at $63.59. Losing it opens the door lower, while resistance looms at 66,156. A defensive stop-loss zone below 62,744 protects against a breakdown. Watch that support closely. Not financial advice, Dior. Ethereum is the day's weakest major, down 4.3% to $1,882.21 and off 2.7% for the week. Its RSI 14 at 35.4 signals cooling momentum near oversold levels, while the MACD at 14.26 against a signal of 12.11 keeps the bearish bias intact with a histogram of 2.15. Support is firming at 1,048, a key line in the sand, with resistance overhead at $1,981. Traders eyeing entries should consider a stop-loss just under $1,847 to manage downside risk, not financial advice, Dior. Among the top 5, BNB is the most resilient non-stablecoin, dipping just 1.7% to $564.85 with a $75.2 billion market cap, outperforming both Bitcoin and Ethereum on a relative basis. The stablecoins Tether and USDC held their pegs at $1, with USDT commanding a hefty $183.9 billion cap as traders rotate into safety. That flight into stables underscores the risk-off mood dominating the session. When capital parks in stablecoins, it often signals sidelined buyers waiting for confirmation. Today's trending tickers are Hyperliquid, Solana, and Bitcoin. Hyperliquid continues to capture attention as decentralized perpetuals volume climbs and its community hype builds around fee-sharing tokenomics. Solana remains a high beta favorite, drawing speculative flows despite the broader downturn. Bitcoin trends simply because traders are watching whether $63,059 support holds. Remember, trending doesn't mean bullish. Heightened attention often accompanies volatility and elevated risk. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index sits at 29 out of 100, firmly in fear territory, signaling cautious investors and elevated selling pressure. Historically, extreme fear can precede contrarian buying opportunities, but it also reflects genuine market anxiety. On the whale front, our trackers logged no major BTC transfers above $1 million in the last 24 hours. That quiet on-chain activity suggests large holders are sitting tight, neither aggressively selling nor accumulating during this dip. For the next 24 to 48 hours, all eyes are on Bitcoin's $63,059 support. A decisive break below could accelerate selling, while a hold and reclaim of $65,745 would flip momentum. Ethereum must defend $1,848 to avoid deeper losses, with $1,981 the resistance to crack. With the Fear and Greed Index at 29 and low RSI readings, oversold bounces are possible, but macro headwinds from a firm dollar and cautious equities keep risk elevated. Size positions carefully and honor your stops. Not financial advice, Dior. Here's today's Bitcoin setup. A long entry at $63,360, right at current support. The stop loss is placed at $62,744 into cap downside, with a take profit target of $65,415.88, delivering an attractive risk-reward ratio of 1:3.3. The rationale? An RSI of 33.1 nearing oversold suggests seller exhaustion may be brewing, and while the MACD histogram at -35.53 remains bearish, a bounce off $63,059 support could trigger a mean reversion move. Enter only on confirmation and respect that stop. Not financial advice, Dior. For Ethereum, we're eyeing a long entry at $1,082.21, positioned near the $1,048 support zone. Set your stop loss at 47.47 cents to protect against a breakdown, and target a take profit of $1971.33, just shy of the 981 resistance, for a solid 12.6 risk reward. The thesis leans on an RSI of 35.4, signaling stretch selling, and although the MACD histogram at -2.5 stays negative, momentum could shift if support holds. Manage risk tightly and wait for a reversal signal. Not financial advice, Dior. If this recap helped sharpen your edge, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for daily crypto recaps, technical analysis, and whale alerts. See you tomorrow.